Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just kind of came with me, so we're just gonna roll with this today. Cool? Cool. All right. You ready? Let's do it. So, what exactly is a project stakeholder? Well, for starters, it's not someone who's just hanging out with a couple of ribeyes in hand, or in this case, a cat. Oh, there we go. There we go. You just gotta clean yourself. A project stakeholder is an individual, organization, or group that takes an active part or interest in the project activities. Kind of like Jude here.
You doing all right? Yeah, there we go.
They have a potential impact on project deliverables and/or the project environment and are affected by the project's outcome. Basically, stakeholders are people or groups that have something to gain or lose from the project. So if the projects do well, then the stakeholders will benefit from it. However, if things go downhill, then the stakeholders go down with it too. Talk about getting the short end of that stick. In today's episode, we're going to cover who project stakeholders are in project management and the most efficient way to manage them. Also, we'll cover some ways you can use ClickUp to better manage them. You got that, Jude? He's got it. For starters, you can classify stakeholders in project management into two types: internal and external. As you may have gathered from the name, an internal stakeholder is from within the organization or business, or in this case, a pot. They focus on project risks and are directly involved throughout the project process. These company team members usually possess deep knowledge of their audience, clients, and the company, and are often seen as an authority figure. Now, external stakeholders, on the other hand, don't belong to your organization or business. These stakeholders are outsiders. In other words, it's your responsibility to manage communication with essential stakeholders and external customers while keeping critical information private until it's essential to define to all parties. But don't worry, Jude, I'll let you know. Some common examples of external stakeholders would be vendors, suppliers, customers, subcontractors, or end users. The most important thing to remember when dealing with external stakeholders is to clearly communicate the project scope and manage stakeholder expectations. As the project manager, it's important that you identify project stakeholders right from the beginning and stay focused on project execution. All right, so now that we're clear on what and who project stakeholders are, let's dive into how to manage them. Number one, show them your project plan. Think of the stakeholder as a guest at your restaurant. What's the first thing you do? Show them what's on the menu today. I don't know why I just motioned to the cat as if that was on the menu today. Similarly, managing stakeholders should start with you showing them your project plan that contains your project goals, objectives, timeline, dependencies, and resources. But before you can do that, you first have to create your project plan. Luckily, you can use ClickUp's Gantt chart for easy project planning. Number two, set up a communication plan. For key stakeholders, project management is all about those timely updates. You have to keep every stakeholder group and individual informed, and that requires a communication plan. Is it going to be through emails, kickoff meetings, video conferences, or banana calls? What kind of calls? Setting up a reliable communication plan is important so everyone can align and collaborate effectively as a team. Number three, share your workload distribution. Sharing your workload distribution is an important part of your stakeholder management plan because it shows them that your project goals can be achieved. It also shows that you know what you're doing and that you have the right resources. This way, your stakeholders aren't left in the dark. This will also allow you to make the case for more time, resources, or expertise based on your workload distribution. And finally, number four, view responsibilities and gain insights. Let's be honest, who doesn't like to see progress? Project leaders and other stakeholders involved will always be interested in a project's progress, especially when it comes to participating in its successful completion. Your project stakeholders want to know how well the project is doing and how far it is from the finish line. And what's better than a project dashboard to give you and your stakeholders an insight into project progress? Stakeholder influence can make or break your project outcome. This can also be a positive or negative influence on stakeholder relationships. That's how powerful they can be. You have to cater to stakeholder needs, keep them in the loop, and make considerations for other key players in all organizations. Use these tips to help better manage your project stakeholders for successful project completion. And a special shout out to my buddy Jude here today, courtesy of the San Diego Humane Society. If you're interested in fostering, adopting, or just volunteering, hit them up at sdhumane.org. Ain't that right, Jude? Hey. Yo. Yo, yo. He's sleeping.
Yes.
Oh my god. I think it's gonna crawl into my shirt.